Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another scene of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across the Dreaming. And we set this scene um, early one morning um, with our now fresh Cleat is finally like walking off sept. Was looking around as she walks off to back to the sept. Just feels a bit weird to be able to, just walk away without any escort or anything. It also feels like, finally freedom. So, well, Robin is going to do the most important thing, the thing that she's been wanting to do ever since she heard she was not allowed to go uh, step away from Central Park without anyone being there. And this one thing that she's going to do is she's going to find the best coffee place in the vicinity of Central Park. So she is going to walk into a coffee shop, order a latte to go. Then she's gonna walk into another one. That's the same thing. She's gonna walk into another one, another one, and another one. And in all, she orders a latte macchiato. And finally, she sits down in a small park and just puts all the cups next to her on this bench, or actually just make it like a small wall, like a stone wall that's there. And she's just gonna put everything next to her, and she's actually labeled all of them with the names of the coffee shop, and it's going to yeah, first take a sip of the first coffee cup, taste it, then of the second one, and so forth and so on. This is how Robin is going to spend her first few or her first morning of freedom, testing coffee.
The William is very he likes parks, and he actually there's a reason why he is in Manhattan. He's like trying to talk with the people in Manhattan, but the people who actually he was going to meet here actually said that they're not gonna come there. They have this business to do. And there was this guy like while Robin is was sitting there, he like talks in the phone and he like, oh, your guys are not coming. I guess okay. Like this maybe the first things she may have heard if she is paying attention. Um, the thing is though, he has a scar on his face and is on his neck. The scar on his cheek, when I say the face, is like it's a burn scar. Like something very hot touched his face, jawline. It's there. It's it's not horrifying. It's just a small distinguishing feature, along with a like a very curved line on his neck. And he looks around and he actually double takes at Robin. Um, he is like he double takes at Robin, and then he actually also double takes at the coffee. And he like from a distance, like there's it's like a huge distance. There's a small distance, and he says like the people who were coming also didn't come to you.
Um, yeah, it sucks when people are letting you down like that, huh?
Yeah, it does. The gonna have a meeting regarding something that will benefit them, but I guess they're not interested, huh?
Yeah, we were just planning to drink coffee.
Well, I would have missed drinking coffee with a person like you.
Well, I mean, you can have one if you want. She holds the one of the cups, um, holds it up to him.
I would love to.
If he
He,
looks closely, he can see that there's been like a sip been taken from it, but
hmm,
yeah.
you know, like the most coffee in front from the coffee shops has like this two pieces, like the
Hmm.
glass and something on it. So he doesn't want to be a creepy because like there's a lot of creep in the world who's like, oh, I drink from the drink that she drunk, ha ha ha. So he takes the headpiece and he's extremely not affected by rage. He is not
Hmm.
uncomfortable. Like he comes to her like very easily, and even like he extends a hand and says, "Hello, I'm William Black."
Hi, I'm Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Hi.
So how are you in this beautiful day in this park?
Mm, she takes a sip out of one of the cups, thinks for a moment as she kind of lets the coffee just sit there in her mouth, tasting it, finally swallowing it. Not slowly, getting better by the minute.
Hmm. Hopefully, you will leave better than ever.
Well, at least I'll be caffeinated enough.
That does help people a lot.
It does, it does. Although this one, as she holds up one of the other cups, this one, yeah, I think coffee from the sewers would have a better taste than this. Not going there anymore. And she literally just um opens up the top from like the cup, and the kind of throws the coffee and like on like the ground behind the little wall that she's sitting on. That was
William,
terrible.
yeah, see, William kind of like nods and says, "Yeah, it probably was." He gets up, he takes the cup, puts the cup on the close trash bag, and comes back.
Thank you.
No problem. The There's a place in Brooklyn. I know a lot of people likes Manhattan, but there's a place in Brooklyn that does this like, amazing coffee.
Really?
Yeah, I love there.
Well, you know what they say.
He kind of looks at her and says what they say.
People are willing to travel far for a good cup of coffee.
Never heard that one before.
Of course you didn't. I just made it up.
the Oh, see, how old is Robin, by the way?
Robin is. Let me quickly glance at her sheet. She's 19.
Okay. So you never get out of the America, but I heard like Turkish coffee along with like the German coffee is quite different.
Hmm. I once went to this place in Washington, D.C. They had Ethiopian coffee. I promise you, it's the best I've ever tasted.
You do look like a someone who tastes a lot of coffee. As he like points at all those coffee.
She shrugs. Well, keeps you awake.
So, Miss Robin, um,
Mm-hmm.
are you doing any work that needs to keep you, up and going all the time?
Mm, sometimes, I think every job really has those days that you're like, it doesn't really matter if you're like, I don't know, a tennis instructor or someone who works at a desk job.
Mm-hmm.
There are always these days when you need to stay awake, when you need to stay focused, and you just think it's hard.
I agree, especially like after drinking a lot at a bar. It's kind of hard to ride a horse when your stomach is, you know, not happy with you and your life decisions.
Ride a horse.
I am teaching how to ride horses, yes.
Interesting.
Thank you. A lot of people doesn't say that. Some people say it's not a real job.
I mean, I think those people are usually just jealous because your job gives them something that they can't have with theirs. A lot of like nasty things people say is usually born out of an sometimes even
Jealousy?
just want to change. Yeah, yeah. I mean, can you imagine you're working at like I don't know, that's an office job. Say you're doing taxes. So you're a curator. You just have to do the same boring thing day in, day out, hour in, hour out, minute after minute. You get your coffee break at 10, you come back to the desk at 10:15. Your lunch break starts at 12. You always have the same sandwich, a chicken sandwich that your wife made. You drink a cup of milk with your sandwich. You eat a piece of fruit. And after half an hour is passed, you go back to that same office again. There's no change.
There's a lot of people who would kill for this kind of jobs, but you're right. I like
Someone
what
who
I
doesn't
do.
have a job, of course.
I like what I do, and I like the freedom that job gives me.
Mm,
At
yeah.
the same time, the I don't think a lot of offices, allows people like me, or they have, as he like shows his face, scars, weird, long hair.
Mm, I really think that depends. Like, I noticed the past couple of years there's sort of a shift where it's more tolerated to have an appearance that kind of stands out. But also, especially in the city, like, I've done some research in the countryside. It's probably because of the community being so tight, it's
Hmm.
harder to have a opinion, even if it's an opinion of aesthetics that differs from the community. Communities are tight because obviously there are lesser people and they're more dependent on each other.
You're right.
I know.
Kind of laughs at when she says, "I know." Um, I think this tight communities. It's about, in my opinion, like how you should look. The society makes you want to, have six packs. And you look at a guy, a lot of people will just say like, I want a guy with six packs. I want to be like that guy, or I want to wear those. You enter a bus and you see Dolce Gabbana sunglasses that you want to wear. The society makes you to be like something. I'm not gonna lie, I do work out. I like being in shape, but I never try to be like, oh, shredded, blah blah blah, because I don't like that actually. I like the way I am. Um, but what I'm trying to say is there is a part of society that actually wants you to be like something. There's a part of the society who actually says like woman is there for children, so the man can work and the woman can make babies, and this can continue and continue to make rich people richer and richer for them to buy more houses and get richer more, or for communities to rule over each other more easily. If people doesn't question things, they rule better. I tried to enter a job like, the office job once. I needed to money. Didn't finish a college because I couldn't, and it happens.
I mean, if you really want to, college, there's no real age for it.
You were right. I just don't know what to study, to be honest.
Then clearly you are not of the right age yet.
the I know the lessons never end in your life. You never stop being a student. I like being active in rallies and stuff.
Mm,
So basically, what happened when I tried for the job is they told me that I'm not, um, not good enough for representing the place because I didn't finish a college and my parents. But it's fine. It was in the past.
I mean, I think a lot of colleges nowadays are pretty open to anyone. But like I said, if you want to do that, then, keep it in mind. And I'm sure there will be a point in your life when you could pick it up again.
Hopefully one day.
You're not that old yet. Even if
Not
you
that
were.
old.
I mean, I am terrible at judging ages, but you don't look like you're like what, over 30 yet, so
25.
yeah, see. So you got all the time in the world. I mean, I've seen people in college who were like 50 or 60. So there's a story of a woman of 80, I believe, who's still finishing law school. It happens if you want to do it, if you have a passion for it. And at some point, you will find a reason to do it, find a way to do it, and
True.
find the right place.
There was a time I was thinking about being a cop.
There's never been a time when I wanted to be a cop.
Yeah, I like helping people. As I said, I go to rallies or I feed, homeless sometimes. Soup kitchens.
You think a cop is about that?
I don't think so anymore.
Hmm. I have a cousin who's in the police, but I mean, the goal is still noble, but I feel it doesn't always work out that way.
Sometimes society turns into a stopping point.
Yeah.
Sometimes the those who leads you stops you for their own gain. I was in this group of friends when we were having this group meetings that we had regarding like political actions that we used to take. They told me I should be the leader. I worked hard. I try to do things, but after realizing the sometimes the titles stops you from doing what you want, I actually refused. A normal guy sometimes can do what they want and not the expectations of the leading and the things you do can sometimes can stop you from doing the right thing.
Hmm.
So yeah, I basically didn't take the job. Then I actually felt bad for that I didn't take it, but still.
I think a lot of what we do is based on how we feel about things. Something doesn't feel right, and you shouldn't do it. like drinking this coffee, for instance. It's better than the previous one. It's still gross. And again, she kind of tosses the leftover, probably 75% of the cup in, well, on the, or like over the wall.
She throws it again. Oh, see.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of people who cleans this place, right?
One moment. Yes, sorry, I was trying to plug in my headset and it didn't want to stick. So I had to take my headset off for a moment.
No, it's completely okay. He said, you know, there's a lot of people who like cleans this place, right?
It's coffee. One rain, I mean, it washes away with the rain. It's just coffee. Not like I'm throwing over toxic waste.
If you say so.
I mean, sure, it tastes bad. That doesn't make it toxic. I'm not green yet.
I never drink toxic waste, I think. I don't know what it does to people.
I
But I think that would
don't
just
know
kill
either,
someone.
but I kind of don't want to find out.
I kind of don't want to find out as well. It's better to not find out those things, in my opinion.
Hmm.
So I told you about myself. Would you like to share some things about yourself, like what do you study or what do you do as a job?
Uh, well, I don't have a job currently. Um, I used to study psychology, but about 2.5 months ago, I think I quit.
You want to change your major?
I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of in the middle of things right now. Um, you might say I'm taking a sabbatical from like academical life.
I understand.
It's
I'm.
it's a stressful situation, so luckily I
Some
have
of it.
the monetary funds to take some time off, and I'll see where I land.
I understand.
So yeah, at the moment I'm doing stuff. I'm just, nothing paid. Helping out friends here and there with like little things, cleaning up mostly. There's some community service. Just trying to make the world a better place.
That's good and a noble goal. That's a goal that I share.
Wouldn't call myself noble per se. I am, you know, like I said, I'm weighing my options and doing some stuff in the meantime.
He nods. I try to do things after weighing my options. Try to like be that guy who does stuff.
Hmm.
Be that guy. Be that person who actually like tries to plan things before they do. But sometimes I just can't stop myself from doing things.
Mm,
It just happens with me. I spoke from the heart.
that's important. So, did it go well for you speaking from the heart, or?
One couple times it did. One time it didn't go well. I am criticized one of the leaders in our political party,
Mm,
and they were gonna choose a leader in a really weird way and not with like votes. And I said, this is dumb. Like, why not choosing this person with votes, or why they choose this in a really stupid way? And there was like the popular one that I didn't like. There was this unpopular one that I actually liked.
mm,
And the popular guy just convinced the unpopular guy and said, "Nobody supports you, so I'm the leader now."
mm.
And the unpopular person accepted that.
Yeah.
My
Ultimately, when you. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Please, you go
No.
ahead.
Finish your story first.
The basically My point was legit. It was stupid, but I got outmaneuvered by someone who I didn't think that it was going to do something like that to just take over a position, because convincing other guy to step down with my speech that I did for to point out how stupid things were.
Yeah. The downside of voicing your opinion is that everybody will have an opinion regarding your opinion.
Yeah.
And it's not always based on your opinion. Sometimes it's just based on you or what
Mm-hmm.
they feel when they see you. You can't always win.
That is true. You can't always win. That's the good thing about life. Your defeats teaches you lessons. If it's not too big of a defeat, of course.
Even if it is, it still teaches you something. How you
True.
deal with it, that's the next step.
The I think I should learn to be patient a bit more,
Well,
especially if
patience.
I'm gonna do things with politics, right?
Yeah, patience is definitely a virtue in politics. From what I've understood, I've never dabbled too much with politics. But I think a big part of politics is having patience and learning how to read people.
Now to read the people around you, and saying the right thing at the right time. You're right.
Work a crowd.
My There's a friend of mine who really likes the things I do, but she's the one who criticized me the most. Um, the problem we have with her is actually very simple. She thinks I'm a like make speeches, be on the front, and say all those things, but I never took responsibility.
Mhm.
I criticize her for not saying anything when I do stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes a simple thank you can be open a lot of doors. Those people who move and shake things, sometimes we forget that they are also like individuals, and because there's a lot of leader who's a sociopath who just does stuff for themselves. We kind of forget those who really wants to help people, needs to hear thank you, the word thank you as well. I realize I actually don't thank people for a lot of stuff, so I because I wanted to hear that word, so I actually say these things. I start to say these things now.
Mm. I'm kind of wondering. Besides, not having the feeling that your friend is being appreciated, like
Hmm.
her having the feeling that she's not appreciated. Um, I think that when a friend tells you something, it is very important to listen, because they usually tell you something so that you can better yourself and not to, you know, because they envy you or something, but because they honestly want you to better yourself.
The I think you misunderstand me. My friend actually doesn't tell me that I don't appreciate her. I say that people who I help doesn't just say thank you a lot.
Oh, mm, sometimes people are embarrassed to say thank you.
But maybe the reason you're right.
It's just hard to admit that you need help or that you didn't realize you needed help sometimes.
That is also true. Mr. Robin, do you always make sense like this?
Well, I mean, I did kind of at least start a study to make sense.
You're right, you did.
But then again, I didn't finish it, which, I mean, there are definitely moments when I do not make sense. Trust.
I do. I don't think everybody like who finishes psychology is all. It's not like always makes sense. I'm not saying you meant that. It's just I have a friend
I
who
think there's a little bit of insanity in everyone.
I completely agree. I think we all have this mental diseases in very small doses or high doses.
Hmm, I would more say that I wouldn't say mental disease. Like, sure, I mentioned insanity, but the thing is, yes, we all have character traits that resemble certain mental afflictions that might be true. Mm, I'd like to turn it around. Like, when someone witnesses someone who is, well, mentally ill, who has a problem, who is suffering from something, often they find it hard to understand why. Because, like, take depression, for example. When someone is depressed, people don't really know how to handle it. They often say things like cheer up, or just, don't, like, can't you just, do something fun, or go and take a walk in the woods, or things like that, things that would make them feel better.
Mm-hmm.
I think depression is something that is essentially everyone can feel depressed. So people can relate to that. You know, you have felt depressed once in your life. I have many times. You probably as well, but I don't want to. Um, I think everyone that you meet on the streets will have a example of when they felt depressed. But there's a big difference between feeling depressed and having or suffering from a depression. So people find it hard to relate to someone suffering from a depression because they felt at one day depressed and they got better fairly quickly. People often judge others by their own standards or by their own experiences. So, what I'm trying to say is that not necessarily everyone has like partially mental illnesses inside of them, but mental illness and what people feel, they're very close together, they're connected. But for one, they can switch it around, and for someone else, because of either their nature or how they grew up, they cannot. Makes it easy to relate to, but also very hard.
He
That
listens
didn't make
not.
sense.
You did. In a weird way, you did.
I guess I'm a little weird from time to time.
You're all weird time to time.
Hmm, probably.
I ride horses and I like talking to my horses. That's weird.
Nope.
It is weird. Come on.
Many people talk to their pets or so or go to animals. It's not weird.
If you say so.
I do. I mean, I think everyone who owns a pet talks to it.
That may be true. I don't own any horses, sadly.
No, but you
Never had
connect to
one.
them.
Yeah, that's completely correct. I connect to them. I like receiving some, receiving some. When I pet them, I like that they find peace sometimes, and I like it. I really
Hmm.
enjoy that they find peace with my actions.
Well, that's good.
Is there anything that you do that puts you in peace?
Mm, drinking coffee.
I'm sorry for breaking the peace if I did that.
Oh no, no, no! I was joking. Mm, I don't know. I just like reading a book or just sitting somewhere thinking. Usually it's a combined effort. Like I read a book, I stop, I think.
He nods.
Though lately I've been so busy that I barely touched a book.
Would you like to? Would you like me to give you a advice on books?
As long as it isn't the Horse Whisperer. I read that when I was 12.
I, he nods. It's not the Horse Whisperer.
Sure.
It's the Gates of Fire. Stephen's. Um, it's regarding the 300 Spartans.
Okay. Is it based on history or is it fictional?
Fictional slash history.
Okay.
There's one quote I like that I try to like live sometimes with, but I fail at it, of course.
Why, of course.
It's, I think, impossible to do.
Hmm.
Would you like to hear the quote?
If you want to share it, please do.
I do. A king does not abide within his tent while his men bleed and die upon the field. A king does not dine while his men go hungry, nor sleep when they stand and watch upon the wall. A king does not command his men, and their loyalty through fear, nor purchases with gold. He earns or she earns their love by the sweat on their back and the pains that the king endures for their sake. That which comprise the harshest of burden. A king lifts first and sets down the last. The king does not require service of the those he leads, but provides it to them. A king does not expend his substance to enslave individuals, but his or her conduct and examples, the king makes them free.
Very idealistic. Idealistic.
It is.
Hmm. So no wonder that you fail. No, what they're creating is a utopia. In that quote, they created utopia
That's some
where leaders
Spartans.
stand with their men.
It's the old times, and there's historical evidence that the Spartans actually, their king at least, did some of these things, or nearly all of them.
Hmm, I'd like to counter that with another quote.
Please.
Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
That's why there should be checks.
Yeah, but a king, especially in history, didn't have checks. Democracy has.
True. That's why I love democracy.
So you're trying to be a king, yet also a Democrat?
No, I'm not trying to be a king. He kind of looks at her with like this smile. I just think the
Be a
leaders should
leader.
be. Mm, maybe. I like doing things that helps people. I like, but at the same time, again, being a leader kind of makes you, it ties you down.
It does. Often people find that by being a leader, you can't actively help those that you set out to help in the beginning because
Yeah.
you are facing down many other problems.
I think there are some decisions that the leaders made in history that are remembered with very bad taste in people's mouth. But those kings or leaders made those decisions after harsh times and thinking over them again and again.
You ultimately, I think you are someone who ultimately believes in the good of someone who leads. But wanting to be a leader does not equal wanting to help people.
True. It's just a way. It's just a one way of doing things. There's a bunch of multiple amount of ways to do that.
It is a way. I wonder if it's the right way though, but it's definitely a way. But as a leader, you will never be able to please all that you and everyone that you try to help. There will always be people who will decide against, well, trusting you or the things that you say or the things that you do.
You're right. I was reading this story where there was this like count that everybody likes. Guess what? This count makes a dumbass decision.
Yeah,
Yeah, he there's this guy who's a noble who kills another person, and the count says, "I can't make everybody happy, so I'm gonna make no one happy. Everybody asks either death or the freedom of this individual who killed this person, this noble, in a crime of passion." And the count says, "I'm not just gonna make everybody happy. I'm just gonna, exile him. Nobody will hear from him again." And I just think that's dumb.
yeah. You'd rather give half of those people their happiness, and the other ones will be furious over it.
People says that they want fair things. I don't think people want fair things. They just want what they want. The fair usually doesn't make a lot of people happy. And yes, I'd rather kill that guy who killed another person in crime of passion, or put him in a jail.
Putting him in jail would again not make everyone happy, not make anyone happy.
True.
I think the moral of that story is you can't always be right, and sometimes you are never right. No matter
Yes,
what this person, this count, as you said, would have done, in the end, someone, anyone, everyone will be displeased. There's no way, there's not, especially in leading, there isn't one right way. There are many wrong ways, but there's never one right way.
true. I need more psychiatrists in my life.
uh, well, I know a good one if you're looking to go to a psychiatrist, but
Her name is Robin.
I'm a psychologist, and not even that.
Oh, he said psychologist. Sorry, I meant psychologist. I apologize.
It's fine. I know. I was just messing with you.
Thank you. You're so kind.
Mm, not really.
You do seem kind.
A lot of people do. It doesn't mean they are.
The looks can be deceiving. You're completely right.
Doesn't even need to be deceiving per se. I
What
can
does it
be
need to
kind
be?
now. I can. Part of me can be kind, and perhaps in another time, in another situation, I will not be. I might be even deceiving myself.
You're right. The possibilities we talked regarding leadership, those possibilities also exist for human beings. Have you watched the Marvel Cinematic Universe Civil War?
Mm, I saw part of it, but I was also I had a lot of had this report that I needed to finish, and I'm ashamed to say that I fell asleep halfway through.
I'm sorry. the There's this guy who is very in the side of law from the old movie. Someone says that the person in front of you killed your parents. He doesn't care about the law anymore. He just tries to kill that guy who killed his parents.
Mm,
Possibilities is all there. I empathize with that guy in a weird way. The persons who would have killed my family. I would be very, I would be extremely angry. Roll me perception empathy, Saskia.
mm-hmm. Yes.
That thing happened, and he was probably angry.
Yeah. Robin will slowly nod. I think every person has triggers that will make them forget their morals, their values.
I think mine is a common one. Those and the people you like gets hurt, you get angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. William looks at Robin again. We talked a lot about like this dark topics today. My intention wasn't actually was opening dark topics. I was coming here to flirt with you, but well, didn't go
I
out
see.
well.
No, but I will take it into account, and I will feel flattered for the attempt at least.
Thank you.
I'm supposed to say thank you.
Was it really that someone was coming here? It's like kind of like turns and looks at Robin. To her
No,
eyes, actually. He nods.
as you can see, I marked the cups. I was testing out which coffee shop in this vicinity would give me a proper latte.
He nods.
She'll actually take one of the cups, and looks like we have a winner.
Mind if I buy you another one?
You're trying to flirt again, or
Maybe. Who knows?
mm, I won't say no. Although perhaps I should try out their tea. I've had an awful lot of coffee in the last half hour.
He nods. Should we go?
Sure, why not? Robin will, dump the empty latte cups in the in one of the bins, and yeah.
He will lead the way and like buy her like what she wants,
Hmm.
and he'll like hand it to her. If she waits in front of the coffee shop or enters the coffee, he doesn't mind.
Oh, I mean, she'll walk in with him. It's like,
Okay.
yeah.
The he like basically gets what she wants, and he says, "I never been in this place before, but I will trust your taste." The Zayef said, "I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Used to be from Staten Island, but just moved in recently, like 2 months.
Staten Island.
Yeah, it's not bad as people says. I'm not gonna lie. It's bad maybe, but it's not bad as what people says.
Hmm. I'll take your word for it. I've not been there in quite some time, but heard a lot of stories.
He nods. Yeah, there's like a lot of stories, but like I know the Brooklyn right now is also in a crazy place. People are killing. The, the people are just like the gang stuff.
Mm.
Trying to be careful. I try to be careful.
I mean, ultimately, if you listen to the right news, there's, or if you listen to the wrong news, whatever you want to say, there will always be threats and terror,
Did you
gangs.
meant YOLO news?
Mhm. Yeah, for instance.
There's this guy says like we can't shift Alpha in the Prospect Park that attacked homeless, which was weird. Why like people attacks homeless? I kind of hate that. There are also people who stole zeppelins. New York is a crazy place.
Mm. Or the news is corrupted and that could all be a hoax.
It also has beautiful things inside of them.
What, the news?
No, New York,
Oh, maybe.
if you say so.
Hmm. You're flirting again, aren't you?
Um, I wasn't, and I was at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you just all you need to say is stop.
I mean, it's flattering.
I mean, a person like you would be should hear those words a lot, or probably was hearing those words a lot. So I just didn't want to say like you're beautiful. I wanted to say it in a way where. it will make you like question a bit.
Don't worry, I have a pepper spray with me all times.
I will raise my hands and say I am not trying to be a creep, and if I am, I apologize. I didn't mean to.
I was joking.
Thank you.
I have no
Nice
need for a
joke.
pepper spray.
Huh. If you say so. You are you practicing in martial arts?
Oh no, no, no. I mean, I know how to defend myself, but I think that's something that every woman in New York would know or should know.
They should know. You're right. There's a lot of creep out there. Uh,
And I just try to stay fit a little.
he nods. I try to stay physical as well.
Hmm.
But like, he has strength five. I'm just gonna say it out there.
I
Like
mean,
Dex 4, strength 5, stamina 3.
yeah, Robin has. I mean, fuck it, you know her stats.
I do. You don't need to say it on. Yeah, I can't really. I do.
So just jokingly, she will kind of slide up her sleeve and then show her muscles. See,
Hmm.
and they're tiny.
The he nods. Progress.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, I didn't really start working out until like when I actually had time and not be borrowed in like piles of books and homework.
I was. My situation was a bit different. I was doing some heavy jobs. And when I finished staying at a place that I used to stay, um, I realized like being able to defend yourself is kind of important in New York. I was already like a bit bulky because I was doing heavy jobs. I started to run, do some couple stuff that I found in the app as he like shows Freeletics, the app to her.
Hmm.
It's a good one. The things are a bit heavy, but after some time, it's get better and better. And then yeah, I started this and it's going well. I'm happy with Freeletics because it's basically I don't need to go to gym. I just do walk outside or run outside or just do things at home.
She looks like she does not believe you.
Pardon?
She looks skeptic, like she's not really believing you. I mean, strength five, and you're not
Yeah.
working out in the gym. It's kind of like, "Er?"
He kind of like cocks his head to the side. Did I do something wrong?
No, of course not. Just find a little hard to believe that someone, well, with your muscle size, as far as I can see, is not working out in the gym.
The um the workout is pretty cool. I'm we have a strong family. My dad was huge.
Mm, I guess some people have it all.
Have it all.
Well, brains and strength.
She said brain.
Yes,
Oh, see, like I didn't understand. She said brain
brain,
and
as in brains
no, no,
and
no.
strength.
She said brains and strength. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Some people have even more.
I mean, there's always someone who is better, stronger, faster.
More charismatic, beautiful.
Yeah,
He chuckles a bit. So I have a thing that I need to do in 1 hour.
Yeah, I better get back to my chores of today as well. It was nice meeting you.
It was a pleasure meeting with you as well.
Hmm, Robin will extend her hand.
He will extend his hand as well. The If that's possible, I wish to continue having these conversations regarding leadership, friendship, life, kings and democrats.
Life, universe, and everything.
We can make the list a little bit smaller if you wish to.
The answer is 42.
Oh, see, I don't know what the fuck that means.
I figured you wouldn't.
Do I need to roll something to know 42?
I mean, if your character has read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, he would know that the answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything is 42.
Oh, okay. He
So,
would
but
have.
she's kind of counting on him not having read the
Yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So there's definitely a smirk on her face.
Kind of looks like, he doesn't know. I don't know what that means. Is it an innuendo or something?
No, insider's joke.
He nods.
It's from a book.
I will read it.
Well, then you have to pick up Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I will do that.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
Don't forget to bring.
Not an insider's joke. Just read the book. You'll understand.
Oh, God, okay, I will. So, there's an easy way to reach me.
Stand in the park and shout your name.
That and this, as he like extends a card.
Hmm.
Actually, like, there's no number in the card, and he just writes his number and this.
All right. She'll yeah, she'll just actually grab like the receipt of the coffee and the tea, and she'll write her number on the back. There you
Mm-hmm.
go. I don't have any fancy cards.
Thank you. I don't think my card is that fancy, but thank you for calling it fancy.
Well, it was nice meeting you. Thanks,
Pleasure.
and I'll see you later.
I see you later as well.
Yeah, Robin will step out of the coffee shop and walk off.
Okay, I think that will be the moment we end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. See you next time. And Saskia, the button is with you.
Yes, I know. This time